100%. 100% welcome back, mob. Yo! He's teleporting because he's so... Yeah, he's finished. That's what mob is demonstrating. He's self-blaming. He's like, everything is my fault. And that's not healthy. So hopefully mob also works on that. And I'm sure we'll witness his growth and his emotional developments. It's about fine balance. Hello, friends. Welcome back. What a cliffhanger last episode. The showdown between Mob and his little brother, Ritsu, after he has fallen to the dark side with this self-loathing, feeling like he's become irredeemable, which is not true, by the way. But what a series, what an episode. Very excited for today. Assassination Zero, Helixi, and Jinichimaru are the founding sponsors here. Thank you for your support since day one. Shout out to every single one of you guys, YouTube and patron family. Sit back and hope you enjoy. All right, let's welcome back to Yap Central.
本当に超能力者って少ないのね。こんなに通行人がいるのに一人もピンとこないなんて。あなたまさか私を騙してないでしょうね。
本当にいないだけですよ。
Oh, wait. I didn't know Mob and the Telepathy Club president has this periodic date to fish out other ESPer. I thought it was a one-time thing. I guess not. Wow, interesting. All right. Oh, and is this because we saw the ominous guy, the guy in a purple hoodie, and because he's an adult, which means adult ESPers have a longer period, more cultivated psychic power because they're adults, longer time span, right? More years of practice, obviously. Because the only other ESPers we've seen besides obviously Teru, the bald eagle, who became a mob's disciple, so to speak, they're powerful, but they're all middle schoolers. And middle school and adults, there's a lot of years, like decades of time in between. And imagine the time of practice and how much more powerful adults are. So I'm very excited for what's gonna happen.
Yeah. こんなところで
Speaking of dates, yo, what did I call Teru? Teru went from Teru the bald eagle to Teru the a popsicle, right? Ice popsicle.
誰この特徴的な人？
悪いね。緊急のようだ。彼ちょっと借りるよ。
Oh, this is right before what happens when Mob showed up in the alleyway and witnessing Ritsu. I see, okay. And I really, really like Teru. I'm a really big fan. Teru is such the perfect example and microcosm of non-linear progression. A lot of us, we believe life is linear, right? I mean, not to go back to algebra for those who have allergies towards algebra or high school math, but obviously linear means if something happens here with the y and x axis, linear means if this happens, then that happens. Like very, very linear. If and then, very consistent. But life is not consistent. Life is not fair. No one ever promises that life is fair. Promise. Life is not fair. How come I get to do this YouTube thing and there's plenty of other greatly talented, thoughtful, curious people out there? But maybe they're born in a country that doesn't have the technological ability or the freedom to record and share their knowledge and education and enjoying great shows, great fictions of art, such as this. How come you and I, we get to enjoy YouTube through the safety? Whereas people in Middle East, other countries, they're literally dealing with bombs and wars and famine and poverty. It's not because we're better. It's not because they're worse. It's just genetic lottery. We didn't get to choose where we were born. Neither did they. So life is not fair. So all we can do is what can we make the best usage of the privileges that we have to make the most impact based on our capacity, spiritual gifts, natural gifts, and to be the best that we can. That's all we can do. Full stop. Same here. Because of that, life is non-linear. And life is a non-linear progression. Just like for Teru, right? The tremendous growth and evolution and progression he's showed is amazing. It's super heartwarming and gives me a lot of hope. Because it is true. So many of us are capable of changing ourselves, work on our weaknesses. I call them the growth area, growth domains. And I call this the growing pain or growth stimuli. Definition right here. Growth, stimuli, or growing pain. For example, when I was in high school, I think when I was a freshman in high school, I was like 5'5" or 5'6". And then sophomore year, I came back 5'11". I grew, I had a 6-inch growth sprouts over one summer. And I have stretch marks in my knees. And I remember the excruciating pain from my bones and my growth sprouts in my knees to a point that they left stretch marks. Growing pain is painful because it's pain nonetheless. At the same time, it helps us grow, either physically, biologically, psychologically, emotionally, or even relationally. Growing pains are good. We don't want to run away from all pain because there's certain type of pain it's important for us to uphold and experience for the greater outcome of developments. That's what Teru went through. After he got his ass beaten and literally got flown into space by Mob, he has grown. Such a great character.
使用中の生徒だ
It's his brother.
君自身の目で確かめてみてくれ
And even the restraint that Teru is demonstrating for him to not step in and intervene, stop, and beat Ritsu himself. Because Teru has capacity. We saw it in the last episode. That's his self-constraint, which is something he's learned from Mob during their fight. You see that? He's learned, he's acknowledged, and he's internalized things that are helpful for him. And he's implementing it. Because awareness without insights becomes a burden. It's not just enough to be self-aware. We want to do something about it. And that gives us a sense of power, empowerment, and feel like, oh, wow, I don't feel as helpless. Because helplessness means, oh, I feel like there's nothing I can do. So as soon as we can identify things that we can do, something we can do, it helps us decrease our helplessness clinically, emotionally, and therapeutically. And that makes us feel better. That helps us with depression, anxiety. And that's what Teru is demonstrating, right? That self-constraint. Because he's like, okay, I learned something and I'm going to do something about it. So now that led to the ultimate unexpected but super exciting showdown between Ritsu and Mob, brothers. Man, they got beaten. Wow. Also, wouldn't Mob recognize those smiley, whatever, those dimples? Obviously from Dimple's possession. Wouldn't Mob recognize that? Episode 8. The older brother bows. Destructive intents. Oh, interesting. Here we go.
弟か
なんか来たな。
Also, Teru, you're not being incognito at all. You're the worst spy hiding behind that wall because, yo, anyone and everyone could see your freaking, 2-3 feet long hair from a mile away. My God, and you're blonde.
リツがやったの
Oh
よそ様
no.
の兄弟喧嘩を眺めるほど野暮じゃない
Oh. Wow, Teru walks away. That level of integrity. That's Teru, you're the MVP of the episode so far. And secondly, think about the psychological impact and the emotional distress. How stressful this is for Mob. What is the number one thing we learned about Mob through his fight with Teru? His moral principle, his moral compass. Never use psychic power on people, full stop. And then now he witnesses his younger brother Ritsu, the model students, who he obviously cherishes and adores and is beloved, breaking the very moral principle that Mob stands by. Imagine how torn he is internally, the dissonance that's happening here. Oof, this is intense.
本当にリツがこれを本当だよ
It's kind of stressful. No.
って大体ねえ兄さん
Mob is in denial because the truth and reality is too much for him to confront and face. So he's in denial. There's like, no way. No way. On the surface, it could be that, oh yeah, Mob's never seen Ritsu's psychic power, although he's always believed. Of course you will have psychic power too, because you're my little brother, based on Ritsu's flashback. That's level 1. But the deeper level is, he is not willing to accept the truth because the truth is too painful. How can my little brother go against the moral principle of hurting ordinary people with this psychic power? Because that's probably the one thing Mob despises the most. Why? Because that's a reminder about Mob's own trauma. His core fear, his deepest fear, is hurting people, humans, either intentionally or unintentionally or even accidentally. using psychic power. That is Mob's single biggest fear. We've seen that throughout the series. And now his own blood, his own kin, his own family is doing that before his eyes. Imagine how distraught he feels. How do you reconcile with that? Whew.
僕がやったんだ。僕は超能力を手に入れたんだよ。エクボ別にいいさ。もう感覚はつかんだ。兄さん、僕は大事なことに気がついたんだ。リツ、どうしたの？何か悩みがあるなら。本当に超能力を外した。
Ah, right. So Ritsu's weakness is he has the power, but he doesn't know how to channel it. Right? It's almost like shooting an arrow without aiming, but he could still exert the power. Okay, so now level 1's been shattered for Mob. Say, oh wow, Ritsu does have power.
リツ、
Let's see.
おめでとう。
Ah,
ずっと使いたがってたもんね。
Mob.
リツが小さい頃にスプーン曲げられなくて泣きじゃくってたの。まさか今になって。それはつい最近までも同じさ。いいから聞いてよ兄さん。
Because there's only two options Mob could do in light of this confronting the reality that wow, my little brother did hurt all these people using psychic power. Mob's number one rule. One, he could be judgmental about it, or he could be non-judgmentally be compassionate about it. Mob chose the latter because that's who Mob is. Congratulations. You've achieved the dream you've had for so long. You're living the dream you've been praying about for so long. Remember, you used to cry? Congratulations. And that non-judgmental acceptance, unconditional love, it did move Ritsu. The darkness in Ritsu's eyes was shaken briefly. That is the power of unconditional love. And of course, it's extremely difficult to demonstrate that level of grace and compassion and love unconditionally, even for your families, when we feel triggered, when they've done something that we deem as wrong, this self-righteousness. Yet Mob is able to do so because he doesn't have an ounce of ego or pride in his blood. Mob is just a chill dude. You know what I mean?
僕は超能力に憧れていたんだ。そして兄さんにも憧れていた。憧れなんて
あ
でもそれは大きな勘違いだったんだ。
お
え
Whoa, sick
僕はあな
animation.
たが怖かった。ストレスがたまると何をしでかすかわからない。兄弟喧嘩なんてできたものじゃない。僕に
Wow.
は兄さんの力から自分の身を守る術がないんだ。気が狂いそうな自分を抑えながら、なのに何の努力もしてない兄さんがなぜ。でも僕は手に入れた。これでもう恐れ。
Wow. Wow. All right. That took a sharp
い
turn.
つわかる。それは嘘だね。
Oh,
ここで勝負し
Mob.
よう。僕に力をぶつけたっていいよ。でも本当なんだね。
Dang.
うちの弟が
Oh, Mob's bow. All right. Whew, there's a lot. I didn't want to interrupt and yap, letting my yap central to interrupt that cinematic and really, really moving melodramatic scene. Quite a few things. First, Ritsu for the first time verbalized and named and recognized this inferiority complex that I've talked about a couple episodes back because it's pretty obvious. However, Mob is correct. That is not the entirety of truth. We call this all or nothing thinking or black and white thinking. Definition right here. Black and white thinking or all or nothing means either I'm perfect or I'm not. We either do it or we don't. We think everything's black and white. It's very binary. And if you know anything about the world, we know the world is not black and white, because we don't want to make perfect the enemy of good. We don't want to make perfect the enemy of good. That's why so many of my clients struggle with perfectionism. I'm a recovering perfectionist myself. Because think about what is perfectionism. It's not worth doing until it's perfect. And because of this perfectionism, so many of even me in the past, in college, in school, or a lot of my clients, they're perpetually running late. They already have an assignment or a project done, complete, and it is great. It is optimal. Yet it falls short of their perceived perfection point, their perceived perfectionism. So they're running behind in their deadlines. They're getting poor performance reviews or poor grades in college and school. Why? It's not about the project. Perfectionism is not about the task that we do. It's about themselves. They think unless what they do and the task at hand does not meet their perfectionist point, it's a reflection of them being unworthy. That means they have failed. What they do is not a reflection of who they are. That's perfectionism. That's why it's an illusion. Nothing is perfect. Again, we don't want to make perfect the enemy of good. Sometimes good enough is good enough. Full stop. Perfectionism is a hallmark, and a perfect, speaking of perfect, no pun intended, is a prime example of black and white thinking. All or nothing. Either I go all out or don't do it at all. Think about how unhealthy that is and the detriments. That's what Ritsu is demonstrating. Because of my fear, my inferiority complex, I never admire you, big brother. It was a fear disguised as admiration, but now that's gone. No more this nice brothers act. But we know that's not true. We know Ritsu's genuinely care about Mob. How do we know that? Even over dinner. Ritsu doesn't have to speak up for Mob and says, hey, you can talk to me about everything. There is no fear of conflict. And do you know who knows Mob best besides Mob himself? Ritsu. Because they've spent years together. Ritsu have seen Mob's apologies, Mob's guilt, Mob's shame, Mob's fear. With that one accident, Ritsu knows all this. So of course the admiration and the love is real and genuine. But here, because of Ritsu's self-loathing, self-hatred, he's abandoned himself. He feels like there's no point of redeeming himself. He is irredeemable, which is what I talked about in last episode in the introduction. That's why he's going all out. He's going all or nothing. Nothing as in he's not worth the rescue. He's not worth it. He's unworthy of being loved and being treated. All means he's going to double down on his aggression, the dark side. But he's talking to Mob. Just like Ritsu knows Mob, Mob also knows Ritsu, his little brother. He's like, that's not true. And at least half of it is true. Yes, maybe there is that fear component because psychic power is supernatural. So of course, we humans were natural beings. So of course, intrinsically and innately, we are afraid of supernatural things that we cannot fully comprehend as natural beings. That makes sense. And we are all afraid of the unknown. Why? Because we don't know what's going to happen. So Mob knows half of the fear is valid, but the whole lack of admiration, he never cared about Mob. That's not true. And what does Mob do? Man, as I'm saying this, Mob is awesome. Mob walks past Ritsu, leaving his own back defensively, despite knowing that his little brother now has the potential ability to hurt Mob. Although one can argue that because when Mob didn't use any power, Teru still couldn't beat Mob, right? So maybe there is that level of inner confidence there. But still, the point is the posture of walking past Ritsu without any defense, leaving his back wide open, which is a very, very vulnerable position in a battle. And he bows and apologizes to all the gangs. Say, hey, I'm terribly sorry that my little brother hurt you. That level of humility and compassion is unbelievable. Mob, you have grown into one of my favorite MCs. Amazing.
てしまってどうもごめんなさい。今後とも仲良くしてやってください。
なんだとてめえそいつの兄貴かよ
The Bruce Lee looking guy.
すみません。
バカ野郎だろうがこれ
はい。
Oh. Guys, if you're not in the, if you do not know the Asian culture as well, you don't know the level of sincerity and humiliation and humility it requires for someone to get on their knees. Obviously in the West, we know that like getting on your knees is like it's the ultimate submission. Because kneeling down is the ultimate submission and vulnerability. Because when you're kneeling down, you're utterly defenseless. Defenseless? Yeah, defenseless. So that's one thing. But also emotionally, think about how humiliating it is for you to kneel down to the bullies and other people, especially as guys. It's not even just about ego or toxic ego or healthy ego. It just innately is difficult to kneel down. It's especially pronounced in the East, in Asian culture. Guys never kneel down. And for guys to kneel down, that is the highest level of humility, which translates to humiliation for many. Yet that's what Mob is doing. Unconditional love and unconditional compassion. There is no arguments. Mob's not even asking, what did Ritsu do? Or why are you guys here? He's like, no, it doesn't matter. Let me take full accountability and full responsibility. What is wrong, and two wrongs do not make it right. And now he's kneeling. Well, I'm learning a lot from Mob's posture of humility. That is, wow, that is amazing.
リツ
Oh,
兄弟なんだから
whoa, did you see that? Mob's psychic power barometer did not move. It says 7%. It did not move. That means he's not suppressing anything. He's being fully expressive and authentic towards how he feels. That's another invisible progress for a Mob. Amazing. What does that say? He feels ashamed by his power. That's why anytime he suppresses the negative emotions, the barometer goes up. But here, there's no need to suppress because he's not ashamed by his little brother. There is no negative feelings here. There is no humiliation that I spoke of. He doesn't feel any of that. If anything, he feels proud of his ability as Ritsu's older brother to take accountability and responsibility by taking care of his little brother. Because that's what big brothers do, is what Mob is demonstrating. There's no negative emotions. Therefore, there's no need for suppression. Isn't that amazing, guys? Oh, you're the bad people, huh?
から10分以上経ってるぞ。何をしている？ちょっと見学をな。バカかお前は。さっさと。
Uh-oh. Sakurai?
ガキを連れてこられても困る。はいはい。
Sakurai?
バカにしやがって。ほらよ。覚醒ラボのデータにある通りだ。大層な名前つけやがって口に出すと恥ずかしい。
Whoa.
はいはい。偉そうにしやがって。さて。
顔面を差し出しね。
あ、待った。そんなことしちゃダメだよ。もう傷つけるのも傷つけられるのも。
Also, the audacity that these gang members has. Yo, do you guys have memories of goldfish? 7 seconds short-term memories? Y'all just got beaten hopelessly by Ritsu. And you guys are mocking him and his older brother who had the posture of humility to kneel before you? Are you out of your minds? It's all right. Maybe they had a TBI, traumatic brain injury, definition right here. Traumatic brain injury, and they suffer some short-term memory loss, and they forgot. My goodness.
さあこが図に乗るんじゃねえ。
He is the strongest.
その場を制する。
どこまでも滑稽な人たちだ。
For real.
この
Ritsu softens. He's back to his like baseline normal self. Unconditional love is extremely difficult to achieve because we humans are flawed and we have our own emotions, triggers, defensiveness, right? We also get hurt, etc., etc. But when someone can demonstrate non-judgmental compassion, no matter how much wrongdoing we're talking about, it changes people. And that is the #1 primary pillar in psychotherapy, non-judgmental compassion. Because all of us at least deserves a second chance, redemption. Of course, it varies based on what we've done. Of course, it's context specific. But generally speaking, we all deserve a second chance, all of us. And that's working. That's why Ritsu softened down. But he's right. They have no idea who the real white tea poison is. You guys are looking at him.
一番強さを持つのは
Oh, the bad guy's coming. Here we go. Whoa.
一番強いや
Jeez.
お前たちの物差しでは喧嘩が強ければ学校地区を制することができるのだろう。かわいい指標だな。せいぜいから下ろしてやる。安心して小競り合いに励め。こいつは俺が預かる。
待ってくれ。俺たちの獲物。会社のくせによ。
Jeez.
動物たちだ。不良っつうのは。え？
弟
Yo, purple hoodie guy, you are effed, my guy. You will soon incur the wrath of Mob. Your Mob just went from 7% to what, 55%? One person you don't want to touch. Mob's greatest Achilles heel is Ritsu. Yo, purple guy, you have no idea what's gonna happen. Hey, but thanks for entertainment though, because I'm excited now to win this Mob, potentially going all out with another adult ESPer for the first time. Let's go.
強く当てすぎたか。まあ
You're
死んでたら運が悪かったな。そこのうど野郎。そうだ。お前ら全員土下座しろよ。こう言えば必死になれるか。
Two things, at the end of the day, these gang leaders are middle schoolers, but also how pathetic is it for a grown man to derive that satisfaction and joy from seeing children, middle schooler children, to kneel before you? That is A1. That is grade A1 patheticness. You're pathetic. But of course that makes sense. Obviously sociopathic. To be willing to kill children for the sake of mission, that's antisocial by nature. And obviously emotionally, he's maldeveloped. Otherwise, he would not be a criminal kidnapping children, no matter their ESPers or not. And remember, power corrupts, and absolute power corrupts absolutely. And psychic power, again, this is outside of my pay grade. I don't have psychic powers. I don't know anyone that has psychic power. And I've never had a session with ESPer in psychotherapeutic capacity. So this is above my pay grade. But nonetheless, knowing the supernatural nature of psychic power, I'm sure it will corrupt you 100%. This absolute power, just like how I corrupted Teru previously, has corrupted this purple hoodie guy. All that to say, it's pathetic for him to derive joy from seeing middle schoolers kneel before him.
と自由を履き違えるバカどもにはいい教訓になっただろう。
Kind of valid.
人生に 生きろよ。
That's
じゃあ
a
ね、クソガキども。
that's a good lesson. Yeah, that's a good lesson.
何だったんだ。あいつは。
Yo! Here we go. Wow!
こそ、お前もか。
Yo, what percent is he at?
お、いつまにバリアなんて張ってやがんのか。
人に抜けちゃダメだけど今は
It's to save, yeah. Whoa! Ah,
い
yep.
つか見た大人の超能力者だ。
Good memory.
エンドーラテン
Whoa. He's attacking again. I don't want to become an adult like him. Even in the midst of this massive, intense fight, he's still thinking about his moral principle and he's seeing how power corrupts. And he's like, I don't want to be like him. I'm only using this psychic power not to break my own moral principle, but rather to save my little brother. He's using his power not to fight, but to defend. Very different. Intention matters. Full stop. Whoa. Dang. He's strong. Whoa. Mob, you gotta go 100%, dude. Dang. He broke his barrier.
吸えない。お腹が熱い。
Dang. His organs must have punctured, dude.
驚いたか
Jeez.
俺の技はお前のバリアを掘削機のようにうがつ
Oh, Mob.
振られすぎているぞ。死ぬぞ、マジかよ。兄さん。
That also shows that those delinquents, gang leaders, they're good. I remember I talked about psychology behind delinquents. Many of them have like broken families, broken attachment, family trauma, and they feel very powerless at home. So they try to grasp that power by being delinquents or bullies, many of them. But here, just like the delinquents at the Salt Middle School, many of them, they have a good heart. They're like, he's gonna die. They don't really want to hurt people for the sake of hurting people. It's more about for them grasping that power. They want to feel powerful. They want to establish dominance. But sounds like they all have principles. That's why they're all gravely concerned for Mob. And this is nuts. Imagine in real life, a grown adult with power is beating a child. It's crazy. Oh, Mob. Oh. Oh, Mob. Oh, this is intense. Jeez. Yeah, he's a sociopath. Sociopathic.
この顔がな
See, Mob's barometer doesn't go up when he's being beaten to a pulp. Because again, he's selfless. He doesn't care if he gets hurt. But as soon as the guy is hitting Ritsu, you made a grave mistake. Yep, here we go.
お前。
100%.
僕も敵。
100% welcome back, Mob. Wow. Yo! What in the... Yo. It's like a magnet. Yo! He's teleporting because he's so... Yeah, he's finished.
僕たちにひどいことをした大人のお兄さん。言っとくけど。
It is truly all your fault. What an animation! Oh my goodness! Yo! Nothing. Nothing. Yo! Yo! It's like a meteor shower. Oh my. Yo! It's a galactic explosion. Yo. KO. TKO, dude. This would have been the heavyweight UFC fight of the century.
なんだよ今の。
It's all right. He's still at 100%.
なんで倒れね
Oh, Dimple's
えこ
back.
のままじゃやべえそうだあいつを連れてくれば
Oh, Dimple's gonna go get Reagan. Dimple's not worried about Mob. Dimple's worried about the purple hoodie guy, dude. Yo. Also, how much can Mob sustain the 100% capacity? Is it like, yeah, right? What is the limit to his? I almost called it mana. This is an RPG, but what is the limit to his 100% state? This fully unleashed capacity. That's wild, dude.
こんな奴がいたなんておいあれ見ろ白い T シャツだ
Why t-shirt
そうか
poison? Yo.
能力での勝負は分が悪い仕方ねえ任務が最優先だしななんて分厚いバリアだこれじゃナイフが通らねえ
Also, what kind of logic is that? Why would a knife go through if your psychic power didn't? Is there some sort of a like property for a physical property like knife to pierce through this metaphysical like barrier? Is it some sort of a chemical reaction? Oh no, pepper spray.
あいつの道具に頼るのは不本意だが
What?
ゆっくりもしてられねえ
I don't like using his stuff. Oh, so cheap, dude.
顔を見られたんだったな散々見物しておいて逃がすと思うか
Yo, Mob is back.
以上相手はできん
No, you're not, dude. Oh, man. Why did you have to grab Ritsu, dude? Or is this unconscious? Oh, he's passed out. Yeah, I think that was like his automatic response.
気
Yeah.
絶したまま立ってる
Yeah.
彼から離れろ
Oh. Dimple got Teru. Okay.
男も律の姿もない人は遅かったか
Look at the damage.
これは
Unreal.
ヒマラヤ産の岩塩ですパスタや肉にもよく合うんですけど今回はこいつを使って
What? Himalayan salts? Big fan. I don't know if it's actually for Himalaya, right? Because pink salt, that's all marketing ploys, I'm sure. But anyway.
肩が重いんですよね
はい占い師には何かが載ってるって
He's
言
gonna
われ
use
て
his massage
言って
technique.
金取るのかよ無責任な業者だな
So they just told her and took her money? How irresponsible. As many commented, Reagan is a fraud, but he is responsible. He does deliver. He eventually makes the patrons happy, and he never just cheats them out of money. He does deliver his service. Whether it's Photoshop exorcism or massage exorcism or salt punch. But the point is, he tries and he is professional. I respect that.
わかりました弱いですまず岩塩の粉末で弱らせ
Yeah.
離れたくなるはず次岩塩のゴツゴツを利用したマッサージで弱った筋肉をほぐし血流を良くしますチャットアウト
I'm
アロマオイル
dead.
でリラックス効果を高めると
Yeah.
ともに霊が苦手なお香をた
Oh. Yeah.
心と体をリラックスさせ美容効果
Aroma Runway Express. How many special moves does Reagan have? So far, I think we've seen 4 or 5.
鬼面の旅へと誘う霊言の必殺技である
なんだか若返った気が
Wow, she's a different
それは
person.
よかった
Yo.
無断で破るなんて初めてだ
Yo.
次会った時は
You know, K tourism is a big thing, like K beauty tourism, like Korean beauty tourism, where a lot of celebrities, right, even like Kylie Jenner, Kim Kardashian, etc., they're like either flying Korean beauty experts, like plastic surgeons, fly them out to the US to work on them on their beauty stuff or cosmetics, or they fly to Korea because their treatments are that much cheaper and better of supreme quality, even including flights. Here, instead of the K beauty tourism, all they have to do is go to Reagan instead. Same outcome and much cheaper.
今日だな
Oh, Mob.
兄さん
Oh, Mob. His love. Oh.
大丈夫兄さん何か悩んでたら相談乗るよありがとうリツでも大
Aww.
リツ
He's kidnapped.
そうか気づいてあげられなくてごめんね
Even in Mob's unconscious state after that intensive fight and getting knocked out, he's still thinking about Ritsu, all the memories, and he's still reflecting. Sorry for not realizing it sooner. He's so, yes, we can argue he's so responsible as an older brother. I think it goes deeper. Just like Ritsu's self-loathing earlier for Mob, it's that inner critic. Mob is relentlessly critical with himself. He's blaming himself over and over and over again. And we've seen Mob's self-blaming tendencies throughout the series. He took on all of the responsibility and all of the blame. There is a fine line feeling responsible for what we have done and taking ownership of everything that is wrong. The first is healthy, that makes us better, self-betterment. The latter is unhealthy, it's detrimental for his mental health and well-being. That's what Mob is demonstrating. He's self-blaming. He's like, everything is my fault. And that's not healthy. So hopefully Mob also works on that, and I'm sure we'll witness his growth and his emotional development. It's about fine balance.
目が覚めたか影山君
花沢君ここは
Ah, that
僕のア
gentle
パート
face.
だ話はエクボ君から聞いたよ
よう茂雄
エクボどういうことだなんでリツと一緒に
そりゃ
それにリツがさらわれたエクボお前のせいなのか
Yo.
俺あんなやつ知らね
僕は知っている
Oh?
数年前から連中に付け狙われて
Oh, wow.
だから中学生で
They're really powerful.
やばい超能力者が結託した組織
Claw.
革命を起こし
Over 100 ESPers? And that speaks to how powerful Teru is for him to evade them, because he can sense their power too, right? Wow.
嘘だろ
100人
That's nuts.
人工的な超能力だけだまだ
Manufacturer.
成熟してない子供の超能力者を洗脳して兵隊に育て上げるらしい僕らナチュラル
Prop. Wow. War machines.
ってやったけど
Wow.
何にしても
That's-
奴はやばい世界の人間だったな茂雄お前下手したら殺されてたぞ
知らないよ
Wow, it's getting intense.
だったら落ち着けよ
勝てると思うから
But I think I can win. Yo! I mean, without that spray, he would have won. But he does have to look out for the nullifying spray, because, right? That's what nullifying means. No matter how powerful you are, it cancels it out.
分かったよでもどうして君の
Awaken Lab.
どれが集まる研究所があるんだリツも最近そこに通ってた
リツが
そこから情報
案内するぜ。
All right, Dimple, this is your redemption arc. Make yourself useful, cause you have a huge role in this. You know what I mean? But of course, he's a ghost. What do you expect?
こりゃひでえな、一般人相手に。
意識を飛ばされているが
Nice, that's good.
君たちは奴はどこに行った？刀の男は？
And I'm glad Mob is not alone. Man, what a great duel. Mob and Dimple, or not Dimple. Mob and Teru, and Dimple as whatever kind of psychic Dimple is.
こっちの質問が先だ。あんた影山律の情報を爪に売ったのか？
爪？
That's him. Oh, it's mistaken.
人違いから始まったのに、本当に律を覚醒させちまったな。
このおっさんは何も知らないっぽいね。
他の子たちは？
He's just a really rich guy who's interested in psychic power and fulfilling his childhood dream. Pretty innocent guy, obviously.
さらわれた。私のせいなのか。
Oh, and he cares.
あんな奴がいるなんて。
何してんの花沢くん。
Demonstrating.
自己紹介。
Introducing yourselves. Ooh, full moon. Must be Claw's HQ. Oh, I'm excited for the next episode. Man, it's gonna be sick.
怖がらせるが使えなくなる。
But we really shouldn't fight back now. I mean, Ritsu, you're kind of stating the obvious. I don't mean like the fighting. I mean like the group of 4 or 5 of them. They're practically useless. And what are they going to do with their 40% success rate of their superpower, huh? Or psychic power? Wow, where is this abandoned forest? Whoa. It just looks like an evil facility, right? It has that vibe to it. Anyway, y'all, hey, that's it for this week. Wow, the episode took an unexpected turn, but let's really take away Mob's ability to demonstrate unconditional love and non-judgmental compassion. Of course, he's a fictional character and this is fiction. Nevertheless, let's try to be a little bit more compassionate, a little bit more gentle, especially towards those that we care about, our families and friends. And we can all strive to uphold a little bit more non-judgmental compassion. Because love is this powerful force that transcends fear. Love over fear. Full stop. Thanks for tuning in. Until next week. Peace.